超速英単語
merger, aptitude, corridor, agility, enlist, undertake, widespread, contiguity, restoration, rhinoceros, immovable, contradict, apprehend, ethnicity, fragrance, crisis, celibacy, huddle, infringe, summon, radiation, righteousness, contention, punctuality, overly, nonetheless, publicize, uncovered, implicate, disabled, duplicate, applaud, discriminate, outweigh, installment, hybrid, subsist, competent, application, refrain, expand, vivid, improper, envoy, dismantle, fossil, enforcement, state-of-the-art technology, settlement, spontaneous, refinement, viable, offspring, well-off, neurological, salute, swap, standby, punishable, due, concede, fright, excel, clinical, cosmological, resist, literacy, flexible, condense, dignity, yearn, shatter, publication, cooperative, gymnasium, unexpected, withstand, patent, preference, liability, abolish, martial, removal, vicinity, genuine, sterling, prejudice, pompous, consumption, hostile, distinct, activist, hunch, voluntarily, antiquity, commercial, possession, adorable, formalize, confident, physique, straightforward, infamous, autograph, monotonously, decompose, merciful, prohibit, forum, avail, elongate, validation, recess, indignantly, colonize, comprehension, competitive, infect, depict, avoidance, unsociable, nerve, incriminate, define, stagger, divert, luxury, transpire, oversee, haven, submissive, menacing, suspicion, disaffected, incidental, strive, capability, encounter, guarantee, comprehend, knowledgeable, exempt, discharge, valuation, surrounding, flicker, protest, insurance, overhaul, emancipation, sector, inaugurate, derailment, consecutive, tame, humble, precise, swine, legislation, nomadic, interpreter, rebel, pawnbroker, dispirit, capacity, incontinence, significant, enormous, acquaint, biographical, legalize, eventually, exposition, expel, intuitively, privatization, confound, industrialization, counter, inception, constraint, strict, valuable, indispensable, urgently, participant, tolerate, infant, insulate, assemble, moderate, pinch, ingredient, inmate, sneak, colleague, outset, disorder, legacy, gender, gross, enact, irrigation, trial, envision, beam, usher, embellish, costly, relegate, mediate, religious, memento, bounce, illicit, portion, insinuate, stray, respondent, materialism, spotless, provided, iridescent, descent, fellowship, curious, cease, criterion, legitimate, prominent, extort, startle, plagiarism, manufacture, amenity, initiate, argument, gene, hypnosis, downfall, intersection, trek, conceivable, pretense, blunder, consent, reminder, collide, entry, invoice, outermost, advertising, disclosure, promptly, insistent, alternative, skeptical, therapy, lucid, decree, incredible, participation, elimination, foil, fake, opportune, tally, submission, restrain, rundown, devoted, annually, chemical, disadvantaged, combat, incarcerate, epidemic, attest, remarkable, readership, bystander, accompany, broker, obesity, hostage, extinguish, downplay, stockholder, anxiety, embarrassment, ritual, dynasty, dweller, initiative, vulnerability, evict, initialize, condemn, habitat, vet, ploy, compression, rainforest, profile, retrieve, spell, counterfeit, expenditure, weary, stable, tempt, donate, clumsy, orbit, opponent, enchant, sequence, hypothetical, negate, impede, dizziness, hesitant, immense, deport, crude, reclaim, reliance, creep, despise, agitation, drowsy, compartment, plausible, subside, diagnosis, extremity, conceive, shroud, contrast, blaze, metabolize, forgery, illustrious, enigma, promotion, boundless, morning, permanently, riot, certified, designate, sue, alert, indication, implosion, linger, converge, downturn, unlawful, lodging, storage, stimulate, upbringing, bribe, displace, invaluable, additive, condiment, periodically, segregate, livelihood, tense, apprentice, clarify, overlap, succumb, fortitude, lawsuit, renowned, watchful, characteristic, eminent, productivity, flourish, nascent, assembly, skim, composure, psychiatrist, debt, disengage, sphere, irate, barn, caption, technically, fame, violation, certainty, psychiatry, receptive, mellow, aquatic, compress, impersonate, hydrogen, bruise, resident, coincide, reasonable, institution, diplomacy, agenda, empathy, toe, manipulate, obtainable, republic, clairvoyant, compound, conserve, stab, bilateral, pursuit, intervention, fatal, warrant, beneficial, classified, experimental, competence, deposit, enlargement, expense, anemia, completion, distract, lamely, fraud, unprecedented, controversial, dosage, wreck, right, slaughter, conciliate, contract, soothing, allegorical, ballot, fallacious, digest, hive, quote, infusion, transform, irreversible, ceremonial, convene, maritime, gratify, dreary, reduction, witness, conquest, demanding, mortify, impeach, judicious, scenic, overthrow, convey, indefinite, disgust, populate, assurance, hazardous, bully, lure, flunk, toll, enterprise, relief, ignorance, leverage, grave, overtake, considerable, inquiry, inevitably, offensive, collaborate, crucial, dialect, subject, ongoing, intimidate, minimal, capsize, enliven, regarding, mandatory, bury, portray, scribble, hail, chaotic, equality, seize, federal, repay, activate, physics, notable, passionate, herald, capitalism, chronic, tyrant, retrospect, contrary, pastime, deduction, reliable, vermin, illustrate, cozy, transgress, demeanor, intuition, precaution, forward, showdown, identify, botanical, imminent, corrosion, proxy, commemorate, majestic, canton, backtrack, prestige, proponent, subordinate, idealize, wine, confide, condolence, architect, exclusively, anatomy, compassion, shrink, exertion, outgoing, incentive, bravery, vocational, alimony, temper, menace, prevailing, halt, archaeologist, flattery, metaphor, rye, engage, furthermost, stagnation, overplay, practitioner, boost, fraudulent, subsequent, oblivious, desist, revive, inhabitant, cynical, fumble, thorough, resort, interruption, pursue, harmonious, pacify, bankruptcy, colonization, discomfort, withhold, insert, prerequisite, sufficient, conceded, dimension, affirm, matrimony, sly, initial, alliance, admittedly, deceptive, summary, relocate, review, syndrome, dismiss, prediction, inanimate, sweep, perpetual, singular, concern, legislator, administration, atmosphere, forestry, sanitation, baseline, agreement, corrupt, interact, workout, undeniable, astronomer, shift, dutifully, decentralize, surpass, clutter, proximity, dismay, frail, antiquated, probability, prestigious, erosion, conceal, agricultural, bargain, approachable, strain, outcast, ratify, bestow, pottery, addiction, tip, relieve, disorient, temptation, glimpse, remittance, pushover, arise, discard, nocturnal, setback, variable, artifact, scatter, pledge, outright, dump, uncover, vomit, splinter, attorney, drawback, furry, efficient, allege, bait, statistics, outskirt, nimble, toxic, spectacular, invasion, emerge, frantic, extraordinary, warehouse, questionnaire, complex, lethal, outsider, radioactive, clack, isolation, debatable, catastrophe, foretell, adolescent, fusion, qualified, conversant, equivocal, contemporary, congregate, unwittingly, seismologist, outcome, equator, diploma, elaborate, discontent, sophisticated, pact, enrollment, evasive, tangible, jest, conform, fluently, twitch, intrude, lapse, backbone, affirmative, repeal, breed, commodity, premonition, tactical, premeditated, appliance, significance, timidity, anachronistic, relentlessly, resign, irritate, protective, comprehensive, revert, jeopardy, well-being, clause, arson, permission, veer, diplomat, escort, rationalize, equivalent, evacuation, sanction, utmost, fundamental, desperation, interaction, roughly, refugee, abortion, distribution, regional, breakthrough, mainstream, livestock, welfare, motorist, biological, solvency, belated, life expectancy, engagement, insight, decency, consume, moisture, stout, delegate, relapse, deceitful, indigenous, genetic, encyclopedia, barbarian, strand, co-author, occupation, immobility, furnish, dispense, sentence, preserve, counterpart, respiratory, assign, stuffy, innermost, cordial, abruptly, sustain, violate, ovation, milestone, radiate, prosecute, shallow, lecherous, grain, rally, solitude, dangle, personnel, spoil, cordially, fluid, disability, zeal, anthropologist, compliance, multinational, supplement, scope, debase, fugitive, preliminary, hub, crawl, output, consolation, contaminate, mischievous, bribery, hardy, retrace, debris, vegetation, highlight, exposure, confront, recipient, devote, feat, verse, assimilate, allot, auditor, loyalty, diverse, elevate, crave, incident, negotiate, coordinate。
高評価、チャンネル登録もよろしく。